I'm Kevin O'Hara for Alcohol Mastery, and this is Stop Drinking Alcohol Week 33. To start off this week, I have a question from Joanne Devlin, and she says, Hi there, Kevin. My biggest problem is chronic insomnia when I don't drink. I could still be awake at 5 or 6 a.m. and when younger, used to have to be at work at 7 a.m. as a nurse, which then affected my quality of work and moods. I've suffered from this all my life. It's very frustrating, and I definitely have been self-medicating to be able to sleep for many years. I've all the intentions in the world to stop drinking permanently, and then I'm still awake at 5 a.m. I'm wondering I have even tried. First of all, I can relate to getting up that early in the morning. For most of my working life, I was up at 5 or 6 o'clock, and bang on 6 o'clock every morning I wake up. As far as self-medicating goes, I think most people that are listening to these videos, most people with drink problems can relate to that. When I quit drinking, I suppose it was the better part of a month before I was able to properly sleep. And, having said that, before I quit drinking, I don't think I was ever having a good night's sleep. I mean, when I wasn't drinking, I was recovering from hangovers, so that was just knocked out flat, and wasn't really great sleep. When I was drinking, I'd probably be asleep, comatose before my head even hit the pillow, or as soon as, and then I'd be guaranteed to wake up after 3 or 4 hours, and my head would be pounding. I used to feel this, my blood, I don't know, my heart in my ears, and sometimes I used to lay there thinking, I'm going to have a heart attack here, If it wasn't for that, I was up 3 or 4 times to go to the toilet. So, there was no real sleep involved. I much prefer where I am now. Do I still get restless nights? Of course I do. Everyone does, for whatever reason. Maybe it's drinking coffee too late in the day, or maybe it's just a bit of stress in my life, or whatever, I tend to, if I read sort of heavy books late in the evening, then my brain will be flicking them over like some broken record. Either I can't get asleep or I'll wake up after, every hour or so, but that's just normal. I much prefer that, and to have the sleep that I'm getting now, not have to worry about possibly having a heart attack because I'm poisoning myself. Just persevere with it. That's all you have to do. Is, it might take a month, it might take longer than a month, it might take less than a month. It all depends on who you are, but I can guarantee this: once you do give up alcohol, you're not drinking all the time, you'll get much better sleep in the long run. You're still going to have restless nights, but you will have better sleep. And I wish you all the best of luck, Joanne. So here's my 5 tips on how to go to sleep when you stop drinking. The first thing you have to realize is that you're definitely going to have sleepless nights. Almost everyone does. It's just your body going from being in the alcohol state to not being in the state. And it's your body realizing that you're not doing it anymore. Eventually, you will get to the stage where you're having those longer and longer periods of sleep, and you won't even think about it anymore. And especially in the morning, you get up without any hangovers is the best thing, So tip number 1 is to prepare yourself and your room for going to sleep. I always found this with alcohol, you can get asleep anywhere. I could lie down on the floor and I could go to sleep. But when you're not drinking and you have nothing medicinal to put you asleep, you have to sort of get yourself into the frame of mind. So it's a lot of people find having a relaxing bath helps them. A lot of people, I find that having the room dark, we've got blinds in our bedroom, so we just put the blinds down and it's pitch black in there. I also have earplugs because any noise sort of distracts me. Also, a comfortable temperature is a good thing to go to sleep. Either, throw in a couple of blankets extra if you're too cold, or open a window if it's too stuffy, It's just to experiment and find the best thing for yourself, You can have a bit of time on your hands, because like I say, you won't be sleeping at the beginning, but just put up with it. Tip number 2 is to take long, relaxing, slow, deep breaths. This is something I learned last year in yoga before I quit drinking. Wasn't to do anything to do with sleep, but it was just to relax and get into the mood for yoga. But what I do is just find the most relaxing position that you can. Your relaxing position, whatever position you normally go into to sleep. For me, it's on my side, and it's just to breathe long, deep and slow, and breathe in as far as you can, and then let it go, and just slow everything down. Listen to your breathing and calm yourself. Normally when I do this is the first thing that I do when I get into my bed if I find that I'm not in the mood for sleeping, and normally it knocks me out. Tip number 3 is to clench and relax. Now this is a relaxation technique that's used in psychological therapy, and the basic technique is that you get all of your muscles and you take them individually. So you just, for instance, say your hand, so you clench your fist, you hold it to count to 3 or 4, and then you let it go, and then you keep doing this until it's relaxed. Now that's the psychological technique that they use in therapy, but when you're lying down, you're breathing, you've got your breathing going. If that's not knocking you out, then just start with your toes and move your toes forward, sort of stretch them forward, hold that for 3 or 4 seconds, then let them go. Then move them backwards, hold that for 3 or 4 seconds and let it go. Then start on your ankles, move your foot forward, hold for 3 or 4 seconds and let it go. And you're gradually moving your way up your body with each muscle. You clench each muscle in turn, hold it for 3 or 4 seconds and let it go. Nearly guarantee you that you will not get above your stomach. It's a really effective technique for sleeping, but try the breathing first, then go on to the clench and relax. The tip number 4 is to stop telling yourself that you're going to be awake all night. It's going to be hard enough for you to go to sleep without you actually feeding your brain. What you should be saying to yourself is just find a mantra or something, like go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, I'm going to go to sleep, I'm going to go to sleep, that kind of thing. It's just whatever is repetitive over and over again. It's distracting your mind from thinking about not going to sleep to actually going to sleep. So it's all about trying to shut your mind down by just keeping it away from worrying about sleeping. So whatever mantra works for yourself the best, then use that. Tip number 5 is to establish a routine that you do only at bedtime. So the idea is to do something that's you make into a ritual every night. You do it over and over again until eventually it becomes a habit or it becomes part of a routine. My routine every night is to read science fiction books. I've always done that since I could first read, and underneath the blankets with a torch I'd be reading away science fiction books. But the older I get, the more it puts me to sleep. I can't, on a good night when I'm wide awake, I can't get past maybe 2 or 3 pages. I used to try and do it when I was drinking, and either I couldn't focus on any of the words, I couldn't see any of the words, or the words would be just going all over the place, so it was no use. But just the routine of trying to do it used to even then knock me out. Other things you could do, maybe put on some earphones and listen to some nice soft music from one of your favourite artists, or listen to background noise. You can get these MP3s of the background noise that you hear when your radio isn't tuned into any stations, that atmospheric listen to that if that works. I've heard it works for some people. Whale sounds works for other people. It just depends. Find yourself something that you do only when you go to bed and just reserve that for that time. You're basically trying to distract your mind from thinking, to put your mind onto something else and to focus on that. So I hope those 5 tips helped you out a little bit. just realize that when you do give up drinking, you're going to have to put up with some symptoms, and one of the symptoms is almost definitely going to be not being able to sleep. But just put up with it. It might last a month, it might last 2 months, but then you're free. You're finished with it altogether. If you never go back on the drink again, you're never going to have to go through that again. You'll always be able to have a good night's sleep, almost always, but that's just a natural part of life. So that's Stop Drinking Alcohol week 33. If you have any comments at all, leave them down below on YouTube or go to the website as normal. If you want to subscribe to the channel, just click on the button over here, or you can click on the link at the end of the video. My name's Kevin O'Hara. This is Alcohol Mastery. Onwards and upwards.